Well, welcome everybody. Excited to have you to today's Zoom. And I'm specifically excited because we're doing business brokerage referral services. Now, here's why I think this is a big deal if you're a real estate agent. I think agents make a huge mistake all the time. They talk to people and say, hey, and we've all done this, are you thinking about buying a home in the area? And they go, oh, heavens no, we're in our forever home. And of course, as an agent, we're happy for them that they've got someplace they like so much, but we're like, doggone it. I mean, they're obviously not going to list it. They don't want to buy a new one. They're as happy as they can. Well, all right. Well, if you know anyone who wants to buy or sell, give me a referral. I'd love a referral. And you try to do the referral thing with them. But what people don't do is they never go a step further going, hey, by the way, you don't happen to have a business, you don't happen to have a building you'd like to buy or sell, because you'd be surprised how people say, matter of fact, yes, I'm a dentist, I'm an optometrist, I'm an orthopedic surgeon, and my business is in the east side of Phoenix, and I'd like it to be in the west side of Phoenix, or I'm in the south side of Miami, and I want to be in the north side of Miami. And so if you ask questions and then you find a commercial broker, you can actually list that building for $2 or $3 million, so then help them buy one. Typically, they live in a nicer area because they've been doing it for a while. So the building where they're going to buy typically costs $4 or $5 million. So you sell one for $3 million, you buy one for $5 million. That's $8 million worth of real estate. And the referral on that is could be $100,000 for you, my friend. But I want to go a step beyond that. I'm always teaching that, and agents. Probably, really, honestly, 5% of the agents do it. You need to make this a part of what you do. And a lot of you are saying, well, I'm not a commercial agent. I don't sell buildings. I don't buy buildings. I don't lease 300,000 square feet of office space or retail space. Your commercial partner does. And so hopefully you have a commercial partner, but I want to go a step beyond that. And a lot of them say, no, I don't have a building I want to sell. I don't have a business I want to buy. I mean, I don't have a building I want to buy or sell, or I don't want to lease anything. And say, well, just final question. You don't by chance have a business you'd like to buy, like a franchise or a dry cleaner or a storage unit? And you'd be shocked. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. I had a friend just buy a dry cleaner, cash cow. I've had friends buy storage units, cash cow. Or do you have a business you want to sell? And I've helped people buy and sell Taco Bells, Carl's Jr.'s, all these types of businesses. Now, I didn't do it myself, and that's the great thing. You get a referral. So we're on the business referral network. It's another stream of income for you. And I know people who, one of our EXP agents referred his uncle in India who bought a small resort, like the one behind Jeff here. And if you can see that beautiful effect, that is in Miami, right? I reckon.
St. Pete.
St. Pete, yeah. And so it was small, it was nothing like that. The referral fee for the EXP agent was $1.2 million. And so what we have today is we have a couple of absolute experts at business brokering. It can be highly litigious, especially if you're in California. And the cool thing is if you make the referral, your name is not on the contract. So my friends that you're about to hear from with 41 years of experience, Earl and Nick, and Jeff's going to make the introduction. They are champions. They are absolute experts. You make the referral, they do the transaction. You don't have the liability, but you get the referral fee, which can be substantial. And that's what they're going to teach you how to do today. So I'm done. This was my part to talk to you about why I'm excited about this, why I think this makes sense for you. I'm going to hand it over to this point to Jeff Lewis, who is a superstar EXP agent from the Florida area, a dear friend of mine. I love him, a good human being. And I'll let Jeff do the introductions to Earl and Nick. Jeff, take it away.
Thanks, Brent. What's up, everybody? Welcome from the home of the palm trees and the sugary white sand down here in Tampa Bay. Hey, we are so excited to introduce you to Earl and Nick today with Empowered Business Brokers, right? All of us as real estate agents, we're looking for new streams of income, new inroads to build our network. And so let me just introduce you guys and let's just get into it. So first of all, Nick has business brokerage. Entrepreneur Magazine ranked him the #1 business brokerage in our country. Like Brent said, 41 years of experience, which is absolutely huge. Built a team, 71 offices around the country, and doing not only worldwide business, literally has done billions of dollars in business brokerage and business brokerage services. And I'm going to introduce you to Earl. Earl is known around the country as an elite business coach. He's actually partnered with Nick doing the larger deals, right? Had one deal, a $40 million deal, $2.4 million commission. We're going to talk to you about some exciting news that Brent has made available for you to receive some large referral commission. So get ready. Earl, I'm going to introduce you, let you kick it off, and then maybe we'll let Brent share the big news, how much money is going to be available for these guys. Go ahead, Earl.
Fantastic. So it's really great to see everyone here today. And what I wanted to talk to you about is some of the things that we've seen happen with our referral program. So as an example, in 2013, we were coaching an organization. Over the years, they paid about $1 million in coaching fees. They were introduced to us by a CPA. That CPA was paid $200,000 because Brent has agreed to work with us and work with you guys on giving you a 20% referral fee for any business that you would bring to us. In addition to that, that business that we were working with, not only did we work with for that period of time, but when they sold, it sold for $40 million. We got a $2.4 million commission, of which 20% of that is about $500,000. So a client who introduced us in the CPA world to a dentist actually saw nearly $1 million of commission through combination of the services we offered. We also offered business valuations, business plans. We offer things in regard to franchising, and ultimately any revenue that is generated to our organizations, and we have 4 different companies, any business at all that's introduced to us in these services, included on top of this would be business brokerage, we'll pay a 20% referral fee. Just last year, we sold a deal for $17,500,000 after coaching for 6 years at an average of $150,000 a year. So again, we paid another referral source, which was actually another dental organization, 20%, which represented nearly $600,000. We've coached a little over 1,800 businesses in 38 years. Our typical results are a business will double in revenue in 3 years and increase their profitability about 5 times. So ultimately, we're helping the business grow. In the meantime, they're buying things. So as an example, in that situation, a real estate agent made commissions on 5 properties that were purchased that were now dental practices. So they bought the practices and they bought the real estate. We do not participate typically in commissions on real estate deals with our relationships on the 20% referral when they can earn it and they have the knowledge to do so. So we make sure whatever it is that you're doing with your people, you know, you get your clients back. You work with your clients. All we're trying to do is help them grow their business. So how might that work? Well, we have people who are in the real estate business that know CPAs, that know other business owners, and they just talk to them all the time. Sometimes they're in network groups. Sometimes then they're in other situations where they see business owners. If you run across anyone that's looking to buy a business, we have buyers that have millions of dollars ready to invest in businesses. On the other hand, if you have people who want to sell, we have buyers all over the country because we have brokers all over the country can help you to find that right buyer. So our success is when we're able to help you help your business owner relationships grow their business, increase their opportunities for you to sell real estate because they make more money. They increase their opportunities also for commercial buildings that could be sold And again, as a real estate agent, you can, in some of those situations, participate in the commissions. Whatever your rules are as an organization with EXP, we're new to EXP, as Brent has probably told you. And so whatever those rules are, we follow those rules and help you to get the most out of the opportunities with business owners, opportunities with real estate sales, and ultimately with all the different services. For the life of our working with the client, you get 20% of anything you introduce us to that we're able to help them. You don't really have to do anything in terms of earning that except make an introduction. And I feel like that's valuable to you because, you know, we have seen a pretty different market in the real estate world today. Some of you may see a little downturn in your sales. What is a way to fill that gap? Imagine selling a $3 million business and getting a commission of $300,000 that we receive. We pay you 20% of that. So you're making $60,000 real quickly, which I believe would make up for some of the income you may have lost. Our goal is literally to help each of you to generate income from these type of services that may as much as double your income in the next 12 months. I've done it with other relationships, and we're real excited to do the same thing with real estate. So Nick, you might share a little bit about franchises and the opportunity there. So what happens if there's a franchise deal of $150,000 that someone buys? What is the commission structure on that? Are you there, Nick? He's on mute. Nick, can't hear you.
There we go. Sorry. It works two ways, Earl. One is if we're selling a franchise for a franchisee, that's treated like a regular business listing, even though it's a franchise resale. So again, we would typically get 10% of the selling price, 400,000, 500,000, 800,000 selling price, 10%. If we're selling a brand new franchised unit, and we have approximately 200 franchisors under contract that allow us to bring buyers to the table to buy their brand new franchises. So a company like Great Clips, for example, they would pay us, in their case, they pay us $25,000 to find that buyer that buys a brand new franchise. And again, we do a commission split with the referring sources. So depends on how you look at it, whether you're selling a resale of an existing business franchise or a brand new unit for the franchisors, and then the franchisors pay us.
Yeah, and then we provide services also that businesses can actually become a franchise, if that makes sense. Is that correct?
Yeah, sure is. It's called franchise development. You'll see these extra services here. Franchise development is, you know, in your everyday life, you know, you're coming in contact with business owners. Maybe you go to the country club on the weekend and you're doing some golfing and you strike up a conversation at the 19th hole, and somebody says, and this actually happened to us in my office. Somebody says, you know, my dad owns a business. He actually owned another country club, and we listed it for sale just because of the conversation that was struck up. So in every walk of life, all of us can keep our eyes open for referring business from each one of those business services that you just had up on your screen and refer them over to us. We really are the experts in each one of those categories, and we can do all the fulfillment work, franchise development in-house. We can do all of the Federal Trade Commission stuff, the FDD document. It's called the franchise disclosure document. And then when the paperwork is done and legally they can sell the franchises, we can then take them to market and actually sell the franchises, and we all make money on those resales. So one referral, and by the way, I like what I think Brett was talking about earlier, and that is we take on all the legal responsibilities, the referring sources of everybody that's listening to this now You don't take on any of the legal responsibilities. You're simply getting a referral to us. We're doing all of the fulfillment work and getting the process started and getting businesses sold, franchises sold. I had one episode really quickly of a real estate firm out of the Midwest that was started by the grandfather. Went through the father, then the grandson owned it, and never had a lawsuit involved in residential or commercial real estate. Never had a lawsuit. And they have 90 some odd offices throughout the Midwest. He calls me one day and has a meeting with me. He says, look, last year we were involved in one business brokerage deal that resulted in a lawsuit because the agent that took the listing themselves didn't know anything about brokering businesses. I want you to take all of our referrals from all of our agents throughout the Midwest, and you guys are the experts. You go out there, list them for sale, and get them sold, pay us a referral fee. And that's exactly what we did. He wanted nothing to do with the business brokers himself internally because of the liability. They didn't know how to handle it. They weren't ever trained to do business brokerage deals. That's where we come in.
So another thing that happens is we get paid many times on the financing of a deal, a point. So we did a deal recently, $20 million, and 1 point was $200,000. So 20% on that would be $40,000 for a deal like that. And I've been amazed at how people just have opportunities under their nose. They don't even realize they're there, where you're literally interacting with people in your community, and you just keep your eyes and ears open. If you would put that slide up on kind of steps to really take advantage of this, one of the things you may want to do, and we had one of our CPA firms do this, they sent an email to their database and they asked 2 questions. Are you currently considering selling a business within the next 3 years? Is your business worth as much as you would like it to be? Those are 2 questions around the business. So a lot of the time, what they'll say is my business is not worth what I'd like it to be. Therefore, what it would be is an opportunity for coaching. And when we coach that business and we work with them for 3 years or 5 years, and we double that business, now they're going to have a much more interest in selling it. Now, whether we started with them 3 years ago or today, when they sell their business, you're going to be paid that 20% because you get compensation on all the services we offer, and we track that in our database. We're very focused on that. So it isn't just what you would get by a first-year introduction or a one-time commission. It is literally commission for the lifetime of that client. And we offer about 18 different potential income producing services. So there are tremendous opportunities for you to make money. This is a general list of those opportunities that Jeff was showing you. And you see this scan me, and hopefully you all are familiar with QR codes. You can literally take a picture of this code, and if you have someone that you want us to meet or talk to, there is a connection to our landing page. We have a landing page. You'll actually listen to a video that I'll give you that gets into more detail of what we do to help you to be successful. There's a form that you would then put your information in. We would contact you. We'll find out who the business is. We'll take a few minutes to learn a little bit about that business. And ultimately, we partner with you to work with that business to be successful. You can have as little involvement in that interaction from that point on, or more than that if you want to, if it can help you to make more sales. I also have been doing something called, Brent, I hadn't shared this, but it's a strategic alliance program. It's how to develop strategic alliances in your community. And so when I did that with CPAs, they developed 12 referral sources that led to over $1 million of revenue. We can do the same thing for real estate. Strategic alliances are very powerful when you can get those relationships. Why would you want strategic alliances and what we're talking about? Many of your strategic alliances, like CPAs, can introduce you to businesses. Some of your attorneys can introduce you to businesses. Marketing companies can introduce you to businesses. Networking organizations can introduce you to businesses. So not only would it be powerful to keep doing what you're doing that is successful in real estate, but why not double your income by doing the things you could do to also take advantage of business services that you don't have to provide, but at the same time, you can make available to those people in your communities that could benefit. So those are the main things I wanted to cover today, and Nick's covered a little bit of ground. Anything that you would like from us on top of that, Brent or Jeff, or does anybody have any questions? I know there's chat, maybe that's but anything I can do to help here.
Let's type some questions in the chat. And if you want to ask a question, raise your hand. If you go down, click on your name, and it'll show you that you can actually raise your hand, the 3 little dots. And if you hit the 3 dots and it goes over, and then you literally can raise your name, which I don't even know. Am I doing that right? I don't see it.
Yeah, somebody's asking, Brent, what areas of the country are you serving?
Yeah, that's a great question. We are a national organization, so we serve clients. We were just talking to a big group of people who are looking to sell something in San Diego. We have other relationships where we're working in Florida. We are working on some things in Boston. We usually team up with one of the brokers that we have in the organization, so we can't, broker deals directly always ourselves. But all of our team is aware of this 20%. So we have a national, and then we have, Nick, what are the countries that we're also in right now?
There's a total of 13. I'll probably leave some out, but I'll give you a taste of it. We're in Singapore, we're in Johannesburg, South Africa, we're in Madrid, Spain, Lisbon, Portugal, Mexico City, Cancun, Mexico, Republic of Panama, not Panama City, Florida, Republic of Panama, Brazil.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. But so what I love is you all have contacts in Canada and throughout the US. And this really is, they've been doing this 41 years. These guys are going to keep track of this, and they want to pay you. And I'm going to hold their feet to the fire, because I want to get reports of people who, like Mike Cabras here or Lisa Medford. I'm looking at you guys. Hey, Rachel Roy, what's up? I want you guys to make a referral. Then they'll sell something. A lot of times they'll reinvest the money into other areas. So just throw it in the bank. And so you'll get a referral fee, a big one on the sale and a big one on the purchases. And they keep track of this. If they end up doing coaching, you saw the different services they provide. And I'm going to be finding out. And when you find out your client's coaching with them and you're not getting paid, or your client's doing various different programs, just let me know, because, this is a trust thing. But I trust them, or they wouldn't even be on here. And so, it's a great opportunity for you. Once you, Earl, if you or Nick could type the phone number to your office in the chat, just to have it there. I know people grab the squiggly. I did the little squiggly thing, and I took a screenshot of your website with your phone number on there. But great. We got about 2 or 3 more minutes. Anybody let's go with Casey Raff. Casey, what's up? I just call you Casey. How do you say your last name?
It's Raft of Old.
Raft of Old. Okay. Casey, what's up, buddy? Go ahead.
Hey, great seeing you, Brent. Earl,
yes.
Jeff, Nick, thank you. This has been huge. It's really got my wheels turning. I brought Todd on this call. He's in my organization at EXP. He's with EXP Commercial. He's got a phenomenal $40 million apartment that he just listed last week. Is that something? I mean, I don't have a $40 million buyer in my back pocket. So is this going to tie in with let's bring that to them. The numbers are phenomenal. I wish I did. It's an extremely sellable property. Where do I, this is new for me. Where do I start to get that ball rolling? What can you
Yeah,
touch
so
on that?
the ideal scenario is to go to our landing page with that information. If you can go back to the QR code, I mean, we're trying to make it as easy as possible for you. And the QR code actually works better than just making a phone call, because we have kind of a systemized approach that captures that you are part of this organization, and that makes sure that we give you the 20% credit. My concern when you call in is I don't know from Adam who's calling from what, and we get a lot of calls. I hope you can all understand that. But with the QR system, we know exactly who you are because you put your name on the form. We then record that name as anything that happens in relation to you with any business you introduce us to. You know, that we are getting some kind of payment, you get 20% of that.
Yeah.
So that's why you want to do that. And I don't mind giving out the phone number. Don't hear it that way. It's just if it comes through the phone number, I really honestly have a tough time keeping track of where it comes from. And I do want to make sure everyone gets paid appropriately.
Yeah. That's
That would
great.
really bother me if somebody called us and we get a deal and we don't even know that you're part of Brent. I mean, he's got 40,000 freaking people in his organization. Awesome. And if there's that many people in the organization and they all started calling the phone, I could not keep up with them. You know, I just
Well,
can't.
the nice thing, Earl, what you're saying is if you do use the little squiggly, which is what I love to call that thing, and you go to fill out the form, once you've done it, you're in the database, it's over, you're securing your 20% on all the future business. So that's a good thing to do. Thank you, Earl. Tom Costello, quick question. Fire away, Tom.
Forgive me, Brent. I think you just answered it. It was, it's as simple as just clicking the QR code, filling out the information. The business brokers, I've been involved a little bit in some of these. They tend to take a long time, some of them 2 to 3 years. And forgive me if I missed the first part where you talked about this. How do we keep track of it? Or do we just enter the information, wash our hands of it, and then just wait to hear from you? Is there anything else you need from us?
Well, we like to keep in touch. We do like to keep in touch with you along the way. I don't believe in just leaving things set. This is an important relationship. We have to get right on top of that relationship. So we want to interact with them as quickly as we can. And when we interact with them, we want to make sure that you know what's going on. So if we say, hey, we sit down with them and they're going to be a business coaching client, hey, you're going to get an email from us that says, hey, we're working with your buddy or whoever you introduced us to. If it's a business brokerage deal, some deals take 18 months. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I mean, if you want to believe 2 months is what a business brokerage deal is going to happen, it has, but it doesn't. I mean, probably, what would you say, Nick, average turnaround time on a deal?
If you're looking at mom and pop type deals on under about $1.5 million pricing, typically we take a 9 or a 12-month contract listing period, but on average, the average mom and pop Main Street type business, they call it, is going to sell in 6 or 7 months. So on average, you're looking at 6 or 7 months. The larger ones, I know Earl specializes in the very large ones. They obviously can take 1.5 years, 2 years to come to fruition. But the numbers are much bigger than that.
The one that was 40 million took 11 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. Hey, okay, so we need to wrap this up, but I want to do this. Can you go back to the other ancillary services that we provide or the empowered brokers?
The next one back, I think.
Go back there. Well, no. Where is it? There it is. So everybody take a good hard look at this. So we had a question about there's business coaching, business valuation, franchise development, virtual CFO, exit planning, title and loans, tax reduction and 1031 exchange, ESG, private equity impact funds, economic research lenders. This is a great thing. I'm gonna take a picture of this list right now. This is everything you can actually get paid 20% on. And a lot of these things have to happen for a sale, but these checks can be big. They can be 50,000, 100,000, $250,000, $500,000, six, as you can see. So it's worth giving it some of your effort and thoughts. Finally, do reach out to these gentlemen. And it's a great opportunity for you. And I think that's about it. I think Lisa, I answered your question. You were the one who, or did Lisa? Lisa had a question.
I do have a question. In one of my real estate groups this morning, another agent, he is going up for a listing, I think of like 40 apartment buildings. And is this something that he could use kind of as a tool? He's an EXP agent that he could use as a tool. You know, I've got this company in my back pot, or as a partner, that maybe you could help him and not even go to open market. Am I missing? Is that something that y'all could help out with, or am I missing it? I mean, I understand that concept, but is that something that y'all could help with that?
Well, what we found, and I don't know if it would be directly with the apartments, but you can't imagine how many times we run into people that own apartment buildings that also own other businesses.
Yeah.
In fact, it's not unusual that people own a lot of businesses and real estate at the same time. I personally own real estate and businesses, and I find that most of the people I interact with that own real estate tend to own some business somewhere along the line. Do you find that true as well, Brent?
Yeah. And so Lisa, when they sell, the seller is going to sell this, he will probably reinvest some of that money into other businesses. And there's so much. And so that's where you can make the hand. What we're talking about is multifamily. That's 40 families. So any great commercial broker can help you with multifamily DXP. These guys were specifically talked to you here about, and is about business brokering, something with the P&L sheet, some, a restaurant, a dry cleaner, a hotel, a winery, a farm, a business. These guys sell businesses, a franchise. So they are great for everybody. So I really want to keep it short so people would watch it again on YouTube. So let's end with the little squiggly right now. Put up the little squiggly, the QR code. I'd rather call it the little squiggly. Put the little squiggly up. And we're going to end with this. You guys are awesome. I'm headed to the airport here in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm in Scottsdale, played golf this morning at True North. It was awesome. I did lose, but I'm still smiling.